Never before have you seen a major Netflix release care so little about the main character that she's sidelined for three-fourths of the movie. All right, so let's talk about this dumpster fire. All right. Um, this is the Prom, the latest Netflix High School Musical-esque thing that I guess is based on a play. I don't know. I fucking hated it.
I had a feeling you probably would. Um, this so there was a CW series called Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. I binged watched it on Netflix earlier this year.
Mhm.
This kind of reminded me a little bit of that if that television series had more of a budget and less depth in character study.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've actually really good things about Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, so it's gonna.
Yeah, it's good. Somewhat similar to this, has moments and songs that are equal parts catchy and cringy. But I feel like Crazy Ex-Girlfriend does a smoother job of working that over the top musical number style into the storytelling of the series itself.
Okay, before we dive into what just annoyed the piss out of me in this movie, I have to just set out the basic plot because every issue I have involves the main conceit, not argument, structure of this movie.
Okay.
So this whole movie is about this girl in Indiana who is gay, and
Note to self.
is discriminated against, which are, by the way, her only two character traits. And the school has decided they can't have a prom altogether because they don't want to include her in it. That's basically what it boils down to. Meanwhile, there's these narcissistic actors in Broadway that recently had a failed, with Meryl Streep, James Corden,
Nicole
Kidman, and the other guy.
I don't know his name either.
Who have this failed play, and they're looking for reasons to boost up their PR. Meryl Streep is this narcissistic actress. James Corden is this narcissistic gay actor. The Nicole Kidman is a narcissistic failed actor. And the
Chorus girl, yeah,
is a narcissistic student who went to Juilliard.
Who talks about it every few seconds.
I was gonna say, if you forget that fact, don't worry. And they pick up the story and decide this is a great opportunity for publicity. And the first 3 or so songs they make about the same is all about how celebrities who don't know what they're talking about and have no interest in the subject matter in which they're trying to address should really shut the fuck up and not get involved. Only for the movie to completely forget that 10 minutes later. Then they become ultra involved. They solve all the girl's problems. The girl has almost no agency the entire film. It is literally her reacting to what they do for her for 90% of the movie.
And for the other 10%, I really liked her performance. I liked her love interest's performance. I would have liked to see more of them in their own story.
But no, God forbid we give the main character arc to our main character. Instead, It has to be Meryl Streep, who has a romance with keegan-michael or whatever his name. I can never say his name right. Or James Corden, who has an issue with his parents, and we cannot focus on this poor girl's journey for longer than 5 minutes before it becomes derailed by somebody else's crap. I was counting it. Literally, every song they have where she starts saying, I have this problem, goes into, well, let's talk about how this is really about me and how I can solve your problems. And that's every song. Even the climactic song where she's telling her story to the internet, because that's how easy it is to become viral on YouTube, which is a personal nitpick that bothered me.
I had a feeling that would. It's Yeah,
Oh, it's
you
that easy. Fuck you.
to randomly do that overnight and not just get lost in the shuffle.
It made me so angry. It made me so angry. My roommate was asking, like, "Hey, were you on the phone with your dad earlier?" I'm like, "No, why? Because you were like yelling at somebody earlier today." Nope, I was watching the prom. And I was yelling at the TV. Like even her own main climactic song was like, "I'm gonna tell my story, and this is how it's gonna be." Literally, like 1 minute in, it stops being about her and about how everyone watching the video is reacting to it. And I was like, my God, even her own song that's supposed to be about her, it can't not be about other people. This movie has so little interest in the main character. It's astounding.
Pretty much her only solo that is not interrupted is her introductory song, which is "Note to Self: Don't Be Gay in Indiana,"
I know, like,
which seems to be the takeaway from this movie.
that's all there is to this character. She is gay and she is oppressed, and that's fucking it. I honestly kind of find that insultingly reductive. That's like
Yes.
how 90s sitcoms wrote gay people. Is how this movie writes gay people. Even James Corden, who's supposed to have the one with more depth in there, still playing it like a stereotypical gay guy. To the point where it's like Schitt's Creek without all the substance and nuance. You know?
I haven't seen that yet. Some friends of mine have said good things.
I just finished it. It's actually really good. You got to give it some time.
Okay.
But it's a case where it's like, it just insultingly simplistic and reductive and stupid, but all while trying to pretend like it's this bigger thing. I was like, oh, fuck you, I think is what I said multiple times watching this. Like, fuck you. There's a whole scene where the Juilliard guy talks all the homophobic people to not be homophobic by pointing out the same Bible arguments that everyone else is pointing out to them, which, by the way, does not fucking work.
No, of course not.
Like,
that's if I may.
I mean, sorry, go ahead.
Thank you. That's kind of another thing about this movie that didn't work for me, was the quick character changes. Their quick turnarounds and how they changed their mind. Like Kerry Washington's character, who played the evil PTA mom.
Mm-hmm.
She was absolutely one note and despicable and one track minded, and then at the climax, spoilers, sorry, she says it's okay to be gay after she's gone on this crusades for 2 hours, basically demonizing her daughter's girlfriend. Granted, she didn't know it was her daughter's girlfriend, but still, that quick turnaround did not work for me at all. And then she attends the prom that that Emma, her daughter's girlfriend, puts on, and she votes herself best dressed, and that's it. It's like there was great character work to be done if we had seen the conversation and a more realistic evolution of how her mind changed, but no, it's no gays at our school. Oh, you're gay, I love you.
Basically, and everyone has these dramatic heel turns on a fucking dime. Like Meryl Streep for the first 20-30 minutes of this movie is this horrible narcissist who could not give less of a shit about everything that's happening. And then literally one scene later on a dinner date, sounds like, oh, I came from a poor home and I don't know what to do with all this fame and fortune. And then 20 minutes later, she's back to the narcissist again. It's like, dear God, pick a character and run with it.
Yes.
And things same with James Gordon. On one hand, he's I'm this stereotypical gay man, and I'm here to do all the gay things.
Oh, please, let me dress you for your prom.
Let me dress you for your prom. I'm going to help you out do all these things. And then a minute later, it's about, I never got to go to the prom. My parents never accepted me. Which, in a better script, could work fine, because I know people that have struggled with that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's so insultingly simplistic. It fails to make any impact for the story it's trying to tell. None. And even the parts where it's supposed to be about her, how like the main girl, I don't remember her fucking name, like Emily
Emma.
or Lindsay or Emma. I was close. Emma goes like, James Corden. I don't know the character's name. Would you go to the prom
Barry.
with? Okay, Barry. If we must. I feel like half the fun I get is making up other names for character names I don't remember.
I know. Sorry. Just it drives me a little nuts.
I see your comments. I know. Anywho, but he's like, it turns into like, well, here's how the prom is now about me. I'm gonna wear the crown. I'm gonna do all the dances. I'm gonna show my parents and my would-be boyfriend. Fuck you. It's like, hey, weren't you just doing all this for her 10 seconds ago?
Yeah.
And now it's back about you? Like, it's very rare I've seen a main character movie sidelined this hard.
I know that if you combine all of Emma's scenes together, you'd probably have a half hour of footage.
Like, I haven't seen not even a title character, like a main character have this little screen time since the first Godzilla. This movie I liked, by the way.
I've seen that one too.
Yeah. But my God, it's to me that was the most baffling part of this. Like, this is supposed to be Emma's story, and yet the movie clearly has absolutely no interest in telling Emma's story in any way beyond that she's gay and oppressed. It's about how Meryl Streep learns to care about people, kind of, sort of, whenever the plot needs it to. It's about Barry overcoming his issues with his parents and going to prom for the first time, kind of, sort of, when the plot needs him to. It's about Nicole Kidman doing something.
About how she taught Emma how to give it some zazz, and then she gets a call that she got cast as Roxy Hart in Chicago, so she's been promoted.
Sure. And there were some scene transitions that are just utterly baffling. There's a part where, just out of nowhere, by the way, the characters have had no lines of dialogue with each other up to this point, where just Emma and Nicole Kidman are just in her bed laughing away, and just like, you've been such a good friend these past few days. I'm like, that's fucking when. Like,
I think they were bonding over Haagen-Dazs, or a broken heart teenage stereotype.
Sure. It's like, yeah, it's not weird that this teenage girl is hanging out exclusively to this 40-something-year-old actress who came down to use her publicity stunt. And how did nobody see that coming? Like, the principal is played by Michael Key.
Who's apparently a big Broadway fan and has a crush on Meryl Streep's character, or how he perceived her character.
Yeah, and who just is so surprised when he realized they all came down there as publicity stunt. He's so disappointed and heartbroken, but which, by the way, turns around instantly after a song. And was like, why are you surprised? Their whole first number, she couldn't even remember her name. They made that joke 3 times. Nuts. God, I'm sorry. This movie was deeply irritating to me, if you can't tell.
I can tell, and I watched this Tuesday night, very, very late. I had intended on just watching part of it and stopping, but it's kind of like a train wreck. I couldn't stop.
I had to until the point I was like, I'm done.
It ended. Like, the songs are catchy. It is very stylish. I'll give it that. But there is or was a movie in here that just completely got axed and butchered, and part of me kind of wanted to see that movie, with the newcomer who played Emma and the girl who played her significant other, whose character's name is Alyssa Green.
Sorry, God.
I thought when they had quiet moments together, I believed it. I was drawn in by their performances. I liked their chemistry. I liked some of the costumes, but that Other than that, this movie is very loud and aimless and kind of obnoxious.
Yeah, no, that's how I describe it too. I mean, you're being much kinder about it than I am, which is, that's on brand. Uh,
I'm not saying that it's one of my favorite movies of the year. No, after I finished watching it, I took it out of my Netflix list.
I mean, it's
But
more like you have this isn't a negative, by the way.
mm.
You have a tendency to put things so much kinder than I do. Just in general. And again, that's not a knockdown in any way, shape, or form, just an observation.
Thank you. Oh, I
In
am a
fact, it's a commendable
Hufflepuff.
quality compared to me is going, fuck you and fuck this and
um,
fuck
thank you. I am
Uh,
a Hufflepuff. We tend to be nice.
I'm a Gryffindor and fiery and passionate. Although, can we even talk about houses anymore?
I'm kind of choosing to do death of the author in my mind. Appreciate
Yeah,
the story and not the creator.
we'll get there one day. I'll get there one day. I'm not there yet. But anywho, that's a whole nother topic I do not want to get into today. Uh, speaking about
Very fair.
discrimination, but yeah, I just found like this movie just a lot of loud noise. Like if it gave two shits about its main crisis and its
Yes.
main character and the main relationship, this could have been perfectly fine. Like maybe not great, but at least give like a serviceable, slightly deeper High School Musical. Sure. Like,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it for a movie that starts out to seem like it's gonna say celebrities who don't know what they're talking about and don't care should shut the fuck up and mind their own goddamn business. To immediately go, oh, we lied. They're the answer to everything. It's just kind of like insulting and more just like, okay, so you don't actually want to have a nuanced point to this. Because even if I did I don't really fully agree with that idea because I think like there's some like celebrities do have power and I do think their voices matter just in terms of just outreach and influence.
Mm-hmm.
But at least if it stuck to its guns on that, it would have something interesting to argue about. But as it is, as the heel turn dramatically makes, and how it's so hypocritical in that message, it gets to the point where it's like, okay, so you're basically just saying discrimination is wrong, which, yeah, but it's a little insultingly simplistic and insultingly belittling of people that actually struggle through this, and not mention how they make it seem absurdly easy to change people's mind on the subject, which you and I both is utter bullshit.
Kerry Washington is a great actress, and she's done such good work in other things that I've seen that I've liked so much more. She was great in Django Unchained. I loved her in Save the Last Dance. I loved her in Ray. But I can't tell if I couldn't stand her performance or the stereotype that she was trying to play. It just didn't gel for me.
No, again, like this movie thinks it's saying something meaningful. It thinks it has all these great points, but it's nothing you couldn't find in a 12-year-old's paper on discrimination. Like that's what it boils down to. Even the
I think
Bible
that's being
thing.
generous.
Like I am being very generous on that point. Like even like the whole Bible song on there, is just like, okay, so you watched the monologue from West Wing. Congratulations. Like, congratulations, we all have. You know, if you said that to a real, actual person, as you know, I could go on my phone now, pull up screenshots of comments I have actually received and try to rebuke it and tell how many times I get the same response. Fuck you, you libtard, fuck, and then hang up. That's usually how it goes down, or just leave the conversation. Is like, because that's not the point. The point is not logic. It's not a logical problem. You can't logic out of it. And I wish more people realize that because it drives me fucking crazy.
Me too. I wish we could logic out of basically hatred and miseducation and misunderstanding.
But it's like trying to logic out of sadness. The logic isn't the point. The point is the justification for it. Like the Bible is just a reason. Like the cherry-picked versions of the Bible are just a reason to hate the people. They are not the cause. Even if you can point out all the hypocrisies you want, it won't make a goddamn difference. I was not expecting to get on this series of soapbox during this review, by the way. But while I'm here, I'll go, you know what really grinds my gears?
I don't know what else Ryan Murphy has directed. I didn't look him up on his IMDb, but this movie, I think, is a case of style over substance. The frustrating part, though, is that it had a seed of substance that just got squashed.
It becomes a vessel to say nothing with.
Exactly.
And again, that's really what's like the most insulting part about this.
Yes.
Especially for serious, like, this problem that's still ongoing and impacts a lot of fucking people. And this feels like it should have been made back in the 90s when like this is the way it would tell that story.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Like back in the Will and Grace days, this would have fit right at home and probably would have been regarded for its time. But if this is trying to be like an Oscar bait thing, the most it's gonna get is like best costume design.
Yeah.
Oh no, apparently not. It's already won an award. What does it won an award for? Why has it won an award?
What kind of award has it won? A Razzie?
I wish. Oh my fucking god.
What?
Truly Moving Picture Award. Fuck you. Now I'm extra mad. Okay, the director was the writer on Glee. That makes a lot of sense.
Oh yeah. I never watched Glee. I've seen some clips, but when I was watching, any scene at the high school, I thought this looks a lot like Glee or High School Musical.
Yeah, there's a reason for that. Apparently, he directed multiple episodes of Glees and a lot of TV stuff, and it's like his first like mainstream movie he's directed. This makes a lot of sense now.
Yes, it does.
All right, so I guess I can't. No, I can still be mad. I'm still getting mad. That's the old voice in my brain goes, I guess I can't be mad now if it's the first time. I'm like, sure you can. Be mad. That's your gimmick.
I'm disappointed at the screenwriter or the editors for basically trampling all over the story that they had, and like you said, sidelining it.
I just got to point out how much I love the fact that my reaction is, I'm mad. Your reaction is, I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
Because this had potential and they just squashed it. It's just sad.
So yeah, The Prom. It fucking sucks. I fucking hate it. And I don't think it's going to get me as much controversy as Hillbilly Elegy, but man, could this movie fuck off? You got anything else to add to this? I got nothing.
I guess the takeaway is don't be gay in Indiana.
If a moral must be had, is the Midwest still sucks. Now the angry comments pour in. Yeah, I think that's all we got for this. We're gonna hop back on later for The Sound of Metal, which is about as different from this movie as you can get.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
We'll probably have a much different discussion. So
I think you may take more of the lead on that.
Probably, yeah.
But we'll get into that later.
Yeah, sounds good. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. See y'all later.